welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you how I got my 5-week-old, he was about 5 weeks, to sleep through the night. Now, disclaimer, this might not work for everybody. Every baby is different. This is just what worked with my baby. But I thought I would just share with you just some of my tips and kind of what helped him sleep. He is about 2.5 months old now and he still sleeps through the night. We put him down anywhere between like 9 to 10:30 and he sleeps until 6:30 or like 7:30. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it. So first thing that's super important is I got him on a feeding schedule. So as soon as he was out of the hospital, because when you're in the hospital, it's really hard to get on a feeding schedule because of how everything's working and it's just you don't have all your own stuff. I got him on an every 3-hour schedule. So he was eating every 3 hours, and I will say I did not breastfeed, I pumped. So I knew exactly how much he was getting. I knew exactly how many ounces he was getting, so I think that also did help. Not to say that like you're not getting enough breastfeeding or anything, but I just knew exactly what he was getting. You know, he was able to go those 3-hour stretches every single time, and that kind of helped at the beginning to really not make him wake up as much during the night. So like to begin with, he only woke up one time in the middle of the night because he went those 3-hour stretches. So when we'd go to bed, he'd wake up about 3 or 4 hours later, and then we'd feed him, and then he'd go back to sleep for another 3 to 4 hours. So we really, almost like he was sleeping through the night to begin with. However, he needed to eat that one time. So I think getting him on the feeding schedule definitely helped just to get him used to going those long stretches without eating, and also getting, making sure he's getting enough calories during the day. My second thing I did was getting him a sleep sack. Now, my baby did not like to be swaddled. As soon as he was in the hospital and they tried to swaddle him, he was not a fan. So we actually ended up getting I think it's Love to Dream sleep sack. I might, if that's wrong, I'll put it up here, but it'll also be linked down below. Essentially, it's just one of those ones that you can zip up. It's like a little sleep sack, and they can have their arms like this, which is what he liked, because then he could put his arms like this, and he likes to have his hands on his face. So that was super helpful because it gave him that tightness and that comfort that he was looking for, when he's like sleeping on us or sleeping in like a sleeper. But we only put it on at night. So he started to really get into that routine of like, okay, I've got my sleep sack on, it's nighttime. He actually figured out day and night pretty quickly because we did get him on such a good schedule as far as like, making sure the lights were out. We let him also sleep during the day. We never like quiet ourselves down in order for him to sleep. We would still do everything we needed to do and talk and bring him to parties and stuff. So he kind of got his days and nights figured out pretty quickly. Now, along with the sleep sack, we also got him a little lounger. Now, before you guys come at me, I get it. You're not supposed to put them in certain things, so I understand. However, when you have a baby who won't sleep, you're gonna do what you can. So he does sleep with an owlet sock on. It helps me with peace of mind, helps me sleep, he doesn't bother him, so we can track like his oxygen and heart rate during the night. But we did get him a lounger to sleep in. So it's not the DockATot, but it's kind of similar. It's off of Amazon. They even advertise it on Amazon. You can put it in the bassinet. Which leads to my next tip, which is letting them sleep how they want to sleep. Now, this is super controversial because, again, all the different like safe sleep recommendations and stuff. I'm not gonna fight anybody on it, but we co-slept for about, I would say 6 weeks. I let him sleep on me. Again, he was only going 3 or 4 hour stretches at the beginning. When he was sleeping on me, I had to sock him. I felt comfortable. I kept like a very good position with him. Like I kept a body pillow in between us, and I only slept with him on my right side so they wouldn't fall off on the other side. I don't move much during the night. I wouldn't let my husband sleep with him like that because he just moves too much and I was afraid he would drop him. But with me, I knew, mom instincts. But we did let him sleep with us for about 6 weeks. And then eventually we transferred him from our body to the lounger, which helped him kind of like get some independence a little bit. We kept him in the bed in the lounger, but he was still next to us, so he still felt comfortable. And then after a couple nights of doing that, we eventually transferred him to the bassinet because he would not do the bassinet at first. But once we did those transitions, it made sleeping in the bassinet so much easier because he still knows he's beside us, but he also knows he can sleep by himself. He's got his sleep sack on, so he's comforted. So I think that's a big, contribution towards that because he just wasn't a bassinet sleeper to begin with. And my last tip is to do some kind of bedtime routine. Like I said, you really want to get them to know their difference between daytime and nighttime. So what we did is we made sure we gave him a bath right before bed. That way it kind of calms him down and he starts recognizing, okay, I'm in the bath. That means it's almost bedtime. And then as soon as we were done, we would let him kind of just be naked in the diaper. We'd wrap him up in a blanket, feed him his last bottle, and then we put his sleep sack on him, put his outlet sock on, and then we place him in the bassinet with his pacifier. Pacifier is his best friend. Whether or not you like them, I like them. They work for me, they work for him. So I put that in, and as soon as we turn off the lights, he is out. He is asleep. He goes to sleep in like 5 minutes. So that's kind of what we did, what we're continuing to do. I mean, it's working for us. We haven't hit that 4-month sleep regression yet, so this could change. But for right now, I mean, even through him like teething already, he is still sleeping through the night. He may wake up like 1 or 2 times around 4 or 5, and I just put the passy back in his mouth and he's fine. He usually spits the passy out on his own, usually right before he falls asleep. It kind of just more of a comforting, like help me get to sleep kind of thing. But that's pretty much it. If you have any questions as far as like the feeding schedule we have him on, I would definitely love to dive more into that. We actually got that idea from Rydell Funk on YouTube. I watched her video about her every 4-hour feeding schedule because, when they're in the hospital, they want you to cluster feed and stuff. I don't personally believe in the cluster feeding thing. I feel like feeding him every 3 hours helps us learn his cries better and what he needs rather than just he cries, I feed him. So we were able to kind of distinguish like his different cries pretty early on and kind of get him on a better schedule. So hopefully this helps you guys. If you have any questions, let me know down below and I'll see you next time.